Have you ever wondered why some people walk every single day, yet their belly fat seems almost impossible to lose? They take thousands of steps, they stay active, and they feel like they are doing everything right. But the number on the scale barely changes, and the stubborn fat around their waist refuses to disappear. Many people believe that walking is simply too easy to create a meaningful transformation. They think that real fat loss requires exhausting workouts, heavy weights, intense cardio, or hours inside a gym. But what if this idea is missing one of the most important parts of human biology? Because your body does not only respond to how many calories you burn, it responds to signals. A simple 30-minute walk can send powerful signals throughout your body that influence blood sugar, insulin levels, muscle activity, inflammation, and the way your cells use energy. The surprising part is that the biggest changes are not only happening while you are walking. The walk creates a metabolic environment that continues affecting your body, even after you return home. And one of the most important targets of this process is something many people cannot see: visceral fat. Visceral fat is the hidden fat stored deep inside your abdomen, surrounding important organs like your liver, intestines, and pancreas. Unlike the fat you can pinch under your skin, visceral fat is biologically active. It can release inflammatory signals, interfere with insulin sensitivity, and create an internal environment that accelerates metabolic problems as we age. This is why two people with the same body weight can have completely different health risks. One person may have healthier fat distribution, while another may carry more visceral fat around their organs. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest myths surrounding walking. The first myth is that only intense exercise can burn fat. Many people believe that if they are not sweating heavily or struggling to breathe, their body is not changing. But the truth is that intensity is only one way to create a biological response. Consistent movement, especially when repeated every day, can create powerful signals that improve how your body handles energy. The second myth is that fat burning only happens during exercise. Many people imagine their body switches into fat-burning mode only when they are actively moving. But your metabolism does not work like an on and off button. Exercise changes hormones, improves muscle activity, and influences how your body processes fuel for hours afterward. The third myth is that simply increasing your step count automatically guarantees fat loss. More movement is helpful, but the timing, consistency, and metabolic condition of your body also matter. A strategically timed 30-minute walk can create different effects compared with random movement throughout the day. So what exactly happens inside your body during and after a 30-minute walk that can help your body become better at using stored fat, controlling blood sugar, and reducing the environment that allows visceral fat to grow? The answer is hidden inside your muscles, hormones, and cells. And once you understand this process, you will see walking in a completely different way. When you take your first steps during a 30-minute walk, something much deeper than simple movement begins happening inside your body. Your muscles are not just moving your legs forward. They are communicating with your entire biological system, sending signals that influence how you use energy, how you control blood sugar, and how efficiently you can access stored fat. One of the first major changes happens with blood sugar regulation. Every time you eat carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose, which enters your bloodstream and provides energy for your cells. This process is necessary for survival, but the way your body handles glucose determines whether energy is used efficiently or stored excessively. When your muscles contract during walking, they immediately begin demanding fuel. Your active muscles need energy, and one of the fastest sources available is glucose from your bloodstream. As your muscles continue working, they become better at pulling glucose out of the blood and using it for energy. This process helps create more stable blood sugar levels. Many people think controlling blood sugar is only important for people with diabetes, but blood sugar regulation affects everyone. Repeated spikes in blood glucose can create repeated increases in insulin, and insulin plays a major role in how the body stores and uses energy. Insulin is not an enemy. It is a necessary hormone that helps move glucose into cells. However, when insulin remains elevated too frequently because of constant eating, high-sugar foods, and inactivity, the body receives a stronger signal to store energy rather than release it. This is where walking creates an important metabolic advantage. When you walk, your muscles become active energy users. They can absorb glucose more effectively, sometimes reducing the amount of insulin your body needs to control blood sugar. As insulin levels become more balanced, your body has a better opportunity to access stored energy, including stored fat. This connection between insulin and fat burning is one of the reasons walking can be so powerful. But muscles do much more than simply burn calories. Modern science has discovered that muscles act like a metabolic organ. When muscles contract, they release signaling molecules called myokines. These chemical messengers communicate with other parts of the body, including fat tissue, the liver, and the immune system. Through these signals, regular walking can influence inflammation, energy balance, and metabolic health. This is why movement is not only about burning calories. It is about changing the internal conversation happening between your organs. Another important process involves your mitochondria. Inside almost every cell are tiny structures called mitochondria. They are often described as the energy factories of your cells because they convert nutrients into usable energy. When your mitochondria work efficiently, your body becomes better at using different fuel sources, including fat. Regular walking encourages your cells to become more efficient energy producers. Over time, your muscles can become better adapted to using oxygen and converting stored energy into movement. This is especially important as we age because mitochondrial efficiency naturally declines over time. Supporting healthy mitochondrial function is one of the reasons regular walking is often associated with better energy, improved metabolic health, and healthier aging. The hidden power of a 30-minute walk is not that it creates a dramatic change in one moment. It is that it repeatedly sends the right signals to your body. Every step tells your muscles to use energy. Every contraction improves communication between tissues. Every walk helps create an environment where blood sugar is better controlled and fat metabolism becomes more efficient. But these changes do not happen all at once. They unfold step by step. So the next question is, what exactly happens inside your body during those 30 minutes? What changes occur in the first 5 minutes, the middle of the walk, and after you stop moving? To understand why this simple habit can influence visceral fat all day, we need to look at the timeline of what is happening inside your body. When you begin a 30-minute walk, your body does not immediately jump into a maximum fat-burning state. Instead, it gradually changes from a resting condition into a more active metabolic state. Every minute creates a different series of signals, and these small changes build together to improve the way your body manages energy. During the first 5 minutes, your body is waking up. As your feet begin moving and your muscles start contracting, your nervous system recognizes that your body needs more energy. Your heart rate slowly increases, your breathing becomes slightly deeper, and your circulation begins improving. More blood starts flowing toward your working muscles. This increased circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients while helping your muscles prepare for continuous activity. At this stage, your body is mainly using easily available energy sources. The glucose already circulating in your blood and stored carbohydrates inside your muscles become important fuels. But something important is already happening. Your muscles are becoming more active as a metabolic organ. The muscles are not simply moving your body from one place to another. They are beginning a communication process with the rest of your body. Signals are being released that tell your cells to become more efficient at handling energy. As you continue walking and reach around 5 to 15 minutes, the next important change begins: improved blood sugar control. Your active muscles continue demanding fuel, and they become increasingly effective at absorbing glucose from your bloodstream. This helps prevent unnecessary elevations in blood sugar after meals and reduces the amount of insulin required to manage that glucose. This is one reason why walking after eating can be such a powerful habit. When you walk after a meal, your muscles act like a storage space for incoming energy. Instead of allowing all the glucose from food to remain in the bloodstream and create a larger insulin response, your muscles can immediately use some of that energy. Over time, this repeated process can help improve insulin sensitivity, meaning your body becomes better at responding to insulin signals. Improved insulin sensitivity is closely connected to fat metabolism. When insulin levels are better regulated, the body is more capable of switching between using incoming energy and accessing stored energy. As you approach the 15 to 30-minute mark, Your body becomes increasingly efficient at using different fuel sources. Your muscles begin relying more on stored energy, including fatty acids released from fat cells. This does not mean your body suddenly burns only fat, because human metabolism always uses a mixture of fuels. However, the conditions that allow fat utilization become more favorable. This is especially important for visceral fat. Visceral fat is highly responsive to hormonal and metabolic changes. When the body becomes more insulin sensitive, inflammation decreases, and muscles become more active, the environment that supports excessive visceral fat storage begins to change. But perhaps the most interesting part happens after the walk is finished. Many people think the benefits stop when they stop moving. They imagine that once they sit down again, their metabolism immediately returns to normal. However, the signals created during walking can continue. After a walk, your muscles remain more responsive to glucose. Your body continues managing energy more efficiently. Your circulation remains improved, and the metabolic pathways activated during movement continue influencing how your cells use fuel. This is why a consistent walking habit can create changes far beyond the 30 minutes you spend outside. The timing of your walk can also influence these effects. A morning walk may take place when insulin levels are naturally lower after an overnight fasting period, allowing the body to rely more easily on stored energy. A walk after meals can help your muscles absorb glucose and reduce sharp blood sugar rises. An evening walk may support better glucose control and improve relaxation, which can positively affect sleep quality and recovery. The key lesson is that walking is not just a calorie-burning activity. It is a biological message. A 30-minute walk tells your body to improve energy management, activate muscles, regulate blood sugar, and create conditions that make fat metabolism more efficient. But these changes are not limited to muscles and fat cells. Every major organ in your body responds to this simple daily signal. Your brain, heart, liver, and entire metabolic system are constantly adapting to the movement you provide. And understanding how each organ changes reveals why a simple walking habit can have such powerful effects on long-term health. When people think about walking and health, they often focus only on the number of calories burned or the number of steps recorded on a smartwatch. But the true power of walking is not only about calories. It is about how movement communicates with almost every organ inside your body. A simple 30-minute walk creates signals that influence your brain, heart, blood vessels, liver, muscles, and even your fat cells. Your body is not a collection of separate parts working independently. It is a connected system where one healthy action can create positive effects throughout the entire network. Let's begin with the brain. Your brain requires a constant supply of oxygen and energy to function properly. When you walk, your heart pumps more blood throughout your body, increasing circulation to the brain. This improved blood flow helps deliver oxygen and nutrients that support brain activity. Walking also influences chemicals involved in mood and stress regulation. Regular movement can help the body manage stress more effectively by balancing nervous system activity. This is important because chronic stress can affect metabolism. When stress hormones remain elevated for long periods, they can influence appetite, sleep quality, blood sugar regulation, and fat storage patterns. This is why some people notice that walking not only improves their physical health, but also helps them feel calmer, think more clearly, and manage daily stress better. Next is the heart and blood vessel system. Your cardiovascular system is responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body. Every time you walk, your heart practices pumping blood more efficiently. Regular walking supports healthier circulation by encouraging blood vessels to remain flexible and responsive. Better circulation means oxygen can travel more effectively throughout the body, including to muscles and organs that depend on a strong blood supply. A healthier cardiovascular system also supports better energy production, because your cells receive the resources they need to create energy. Now, let's look at one of the most important metabolic organs, the liver. The liver plays a central role in managing energy. It stores glucose, processes fats, and helps regulate many chemical reactions inside the body. When insulin sensitivity decreases, the liver can become overwhelmed by excess energy and may begin storing more fat than it should. This can contribute to metabolic problems. Walking helps support healthier liver function by improving the way your body handles glucose and fats. As muscles become better at using energy, the liver experiences less pressure to manage excessive fuel. Over time, regular movement can help create a healthier internal environment for the liver. Now we move to the muscles themselves. Your muscles are the engine that drives your metabolism. Every step you take requires your muscles to communicate with your entire body. They pull in glucose, use oxygen, produce energy, and release signals that influence metabolism. This is why maintaining muscle activity becomes increasingly important as we age. Muscle is not just about strength or appearance. It is one of the largest tissues responsible for controlling how your body uses energy. Even moderate activities like walking help keep this metabolic engine active. Finally, we need to understand what happens to fat cells, especially visceral fat. Many people think fat is simply stored energy, like a passive container. But fat tissue is actually an active biological organ that communicates with the rest of your body. Visceral fat can release inflammatory signals and affect hormone balance. When the body experiences frequent high insulin levels, poor blood sugar control, and low activity, visceral fat can become easier to accumulate. Walking helps change this environment. By improving muscle activity, supporting insulin sensitivity, and reducing metabolic stress, walking creates conditions where the body becomes better at managing stored fat. The goal is not simply to make the number on the scale smaller. The deeper goal is to improve the internal environment that determines whether your body stores energy or uses it efficiently. This is why a simple 30-minute walk can influence so many different systems at the same time. The benefits are not limited to what happens inside your organs. They eventually appear in your everyday life, your energy, your mood, your ability to maintain a healthy weight, and your long-term aging process. But to experience these benefits, it is important to understand what changes you can realistically expect and the common mistakes that can reduce the impact of this powerful habit. When you understand what happens inside your body during a 30-minute walk, you begin to see why this simple habit has been connected with so many improvements in health and daily life. The biggest changes may not happen overnight, but the repeated signals created by walking can gradually reshape the way your body manages energy. One of the most important benefits is improved metabolism. A healthier metabolism does not simply mean burning more calories. It means your body becomes better at using the energy you provide. Your muscles become more responsive to glucose, your blood sugar becomes easier to control, and your body becomes more flexible in switching between different fuel sources. This metabolic flexibility is especially important as we get older, because many people experience a gradual decline in energy regulation. They may notice that they gain belly fat more easily, feel tired after meals, or struggle to maintain the same body composition they had when they were younger. A consistent walking habit helps send the opposite message to the body. It tells your cells that energy needs to be used, not simply stored. Another important benefit is the potential reduction of visceral fat accumulation. Remember, visceral fat is not just extra weight around the waist. It is an active tissue that can influence inflammation and metabolic health. By improving insulin sensitivity, increasing muscle activity, and supporting better energy balance, walking helps create a body environment that is less favorable for excessive visceral fat storage. Walking also supports healthy aging. As we age, maintaining cellular energy production becomes increasingly important. The mitochondria inside our cells need to continue producing energy efficiently. Regular movement helps support mitochondrial function, circulation, and the communication between different tissues. This is one reason many active older adults maintain better mobility, more stable energy levels, and greater independence. However, many people reduce the benefits of walking because they make common mistakes. The first mistake is walking without enough purpose. A slow, relaxed walk can still be beneficial, especially for beginners. But if your goal is improving metabolism and supporting fat loss, your walking pace should create a mild challenge. You should feel your heart rate increase slightly while still being able to maintain a conversation. The second mistake is expecting immediate results. Many people walk for a few days, step on the scale, and become disappointed. But your metabolism does not change from one workout. Your body adapts through repeated signals over time. A 30-minute walk every day creates thousands of small improvements that accumulate. The third mistake is believing walking can completely overcome unhealthy lifestyle habits. Walking is powerful, but it works best when combined with supportive habits. Excessive sugar intake, poor sleep, chronic stress, and highly processed foods can continue sending signals that encourage fat storage. The fourth mistake is walking and then remaining inactive for the rest of the day. A single walk is valuable, but human biology responds best to regular movement. Standing up, stretching, and moving throughout the day helps maintain the metabolic benefits created by exercise. The true power of walking comes from consistency. It is not about finding the most extreme method. It is about giving your body the right signals every day. So how can you apply the 30-minute walking habit correctly to maximize the benefits for blood sugar, metabolism, and visceral fat reduction? The answer is not complicated, but the details matter. Now that you understand what a 30-minute walk can do inside your body, the most important question becomes, how should you apply it in real life? The first step is to choose a consistent time. You do not need a complicated plan. You simply need a walking habit that fits into your day so naturally that it becomes difficult to skip. For some people, the best time is in the morning before breakfast. After an overnight fast, insulin levels are usually lower, and the body may have easier access to stored energy. A morning walk can also help wake up the nervous system, improve circulation, and create a positive metabolic signal before the day begins. For others, walking after meals may be more useful. Even a steady walk after eating can help muscles absorb glucose from the bloodstream and reduce the size of blood sugar spikes. This is especially helpful after larger meals or meals that contain more carbohydrates. An evening walk can also be valuable. It may help the body manage glucose after dinner, reduce mental stress, and prepare the nervous system for better sleep. And better sleep is one of the most important foundations for healthy metabolism and fat regulation. The second step is to walk at the right intensity. You do not need to run. You do not need to exhaust yourself. The ideal pace is one where your breathing becomes slightly faster, your body feels warm, and your heart rate rises. But you can still hold a conversation. This level of walking is sustainable, safe for most people, and strong enough to create meaningful metabolic signals. The third step is to combine walking with other habits that support fat metabolism. Walking works best when your body is not constantly receiving signals to store energy. That means getting enough protein, reducing ultra-processed foods, limiting frequent sugar intake, sleeping well, and adding strength training when possible. The bigger picture is simple. Your body does not need punishment. It needs repeated, healthy signals. A 30-minute walk tells your muscles to wake up. It tells your blood sugar to become more stable. It tells insulin to work more efficiently. It tells your mitochondria to produce energy. And over time, it helps change the internal environment that allows visceral fat to accumulate. So remember this: walking is not weak exercise. Walking is biological communication. Every step is a message to your body that energy should move, blood sugar should stabilize, muscles should stay active, and stored fat should become easier to access. If you have been waiting for an extreme method to transform your health, maybe the answer is much simpler than you thought. Start with 30 minutes. Do it consistently. Pay attention to your energy, your waistline, your sleep, and your blood sugar response. And over time, you may realize that this small habit was never just about walking. It was about teaching your body how to burn, repair, and function better from the inside out. If you found this explanation helpful, subscribe for more science-based videos about metabolism, fasting, walking, visceral fat, blood sugar, and healthy aging. And tell us in the comments, when do you prefer to walk? Morning, after meals, or evening?